The Proverbs of Shlomo, son of David, sovereign of Israel. For knowing the wisdom and discipline, for understanding the words of understanding, for receiving the discipline of wisdom, righteousness, right ruling, and straightness, for giving insight to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. The wise one hears and increases learning, and the understanding one gets wise counsel. For understanding a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and the riddles. The fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. My son, heed the discipline of your father, and do not forsake the Torah of your mother, for they are fair wreath on your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in. If they say, "Come with us," let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and entirely like those going down to the pit. Let us find all precious goods. Let us fill our houses with spoil. Cast in your lots among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and they hurry to shed blood. For in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, but they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone greedy and for gain. It takes away the life of its owner. Wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the broad places. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the openings of the gates in the city she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, would you love simplicity, and shall scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? Turn at my reproof. See, I pour out my spirit on you. I make my words known to you. Because I called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no one inclined. And you spurned all my counsel and would not yield to my reproof. Let me also laugh at your calamity, mock when your dread comes. When your dread comes like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, let them then call on me, but I answer not. Let them seek me, but not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yah. They did not accept my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore, let them eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own counsels. For the turning away of the simple kills them, and the complacency full of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me dwells safely and is at ease from the dread of evil. My son, if you accept my words and treasure up my command with you, so that you make your ear attend to wisdom, incline your heart to understanding. For if you cry for discernment, lift up your voice for understanding. If you seek her as silver and search for her as hidden treasures, then you would understand the fear of Yah and find the knowledge of Elohim. For Yah gives wisdom. Out of his mouth come knowledge and understanding. and he treasures up stability for the straight, a shield to those walking blamelessly, to watch over the paths of right ruling, and the way of his lovingly committed ones he guards. Then you would understand righteousness and right ruling and straightness, every good path. For wisdom would enter your heart, and knowledge be pleasant to your being. Discretion would guard you, understanding would watch over you, to deliver you from the evil way, from the man who speaks perversely. Those who leave the paths of straightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, they delight in the perverse of evil, whose paths are crooked and they are perverted in their ways, to deliver you from the strange woman, from the foreigner who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and has forgotten the covenant of her Elohim. For her house has sunk down to death, and her paths to the dead. None going into her does return, nor do they reach the paths of life. So walk in the way of goodness, and guard the paths of righteousness. For the straight shall dwell in the earth, and the perfect be left in it. But the wrong shall be cut off from the earth, and the treacherous ones plucked out of it. My son, do not forget my Torah, and let your heart watch over my commands. For length of days and long life and peace they add to you. Let not loving commitment and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablets of your heart, thus finding favor and good insight in the eyes of God and man. Trust in Yah with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Know him in all your ways, and he will make all your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yah and turn away from evil. It is healing to your navel and moistening to your bones. Esteem Yah with your goods, and with the first fruits of all your increase. Then your storehouses shall be filled with plenty, and your vats overflow with new wine. My son, do not despise the discipline of Yah, and do not loathe his reproof. For whom he loves, he reproves, as a father the son, whom he delights in. Blessed is the man who has found wisdom, and the man who gets understanding. For the gain from it is better than gain from silver, and its increase than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all your delights are not compared to her. Length of days is in her right hand, riches and esteem in her left hand. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those taking hold of her, and blessed are all who retain her. Yah founded the earth by wisdom, he established the heavens by understanding. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and clouds dropped down dew. My son, Let them not depart from your eyes. Watch over sound wisdom and discretion. Then they become life to your being and an adorning to your neck. Then you would walk safely in your way, and your foot would not stumble. When you lie down, you need not be afraid, and you shall lie down, and your sleep shall be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden dread, nor of the ruin of the wrong when it comes. For Yah is at your side, and he shall guard you, every foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, "Go and come back tomorrow, I give it," when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor, seeing that dwells safely beside you. Do not strive with a man without a cause, if he has done you no evil. Do not envy a cruel man, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse one is an abomination to Yah, and his secret counsel is with the straight. The curse of Yah is on the house of the wrong, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He certainly scoffs the scoffers, but gives favor to the humble. The wise do inherit esteem, but fools are bearing away shame. Children, listen to the discipline of a father, and give attention to no understanding. For I gave you good instruction. Do not forsake my Torah. For I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the eyes of my mother. Then he taught me and said to me, "Let your heart hold fast my words, guard my commands, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget, and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not leave her, and let her guard you. Love her, and let her watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is to get wisdom. And with all your getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and let her uplift you. She brings you esteem when you embrace her. She gives your head a fair wreath. She shields you with an adorning crown. Hear, my son, and accept my words, and let the years of your life be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in the straight paths. When you walk, your steps shall not be hindered, and if you run, you shall not stumble. Because strong in discipline, do not let go. Watch over her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wrong, and do not walk in the way of evildoers. Avoid it. Do not pass by it. Turn away from it and pass on. For they do not sleep unless they have done evil, and their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. For they have eaten the bread of wrongdoing, and they drink the wine of violence. But the path of righteousness is like the light of dawn, that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day. The way of the wrong is like darkness. They do not know at what they stumble. My son, listen to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Let them not depart from your eyes. Guard them in the midst of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and healing to all their flesh. Watch over your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the sources of life. Turn away from you a crooked mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look forward, and your eyelids look straight before you. Consider the path of your feet, and all your ways are established. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. My son, listen to my wisdom. Incline your ear to my understanding, so as to watch over discretion, and your lips guard knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold of Sheol. She does not consider the path of life. Her ways are unstable. You do not know it. So now listen to me, you children, and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not come near the door of her house, lest you give your splendor to others, and your years to one who is cruel. Lest strangers be filled with your strength, and your labors go to the house of a foreigner. Then you shall howl in your latter end, when your flesh and your body are consumed, and shall say, how I have hated discipline, and my heart has despised reproof. And I have not heeded the voice of my teachers, and I have not inclined my ear to those who instructed me. In a little while I was in all evil, in the midst of an assembly and a congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, and running water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad, rivers of water in the streets, let them be only your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. A loving deer and a pleasant doe, let her nipples satisfy you at all times, and be captivated by her love always. For why should you, my son, be captivated by a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a foreigner? For the ways of a man are before the eyes of Yah, and he considers all his paths. The wrong one is entrapped in his own crookedness, and he is caught in the cords of his sin. He dies for lack of discipline, and in the greatness of his folly he goes astray. My son, if you have become guarantor for your friend, have shaken hands in pledge for a stranger, have been snared by the words of your own mouth, have been caught by the words of your mouth, do this at once, my son, and deliver yourself, for you have come into the hand of your friend. Go humble yourself and urge your friend. Give no sleep to your eye, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hunter's hand, and like a bird from the hand of the trapper. Go to the ant, you lazy one, see her ways and be wise, which having no commander, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer, gathers her food in the harvest. How long would you lie down, O lazy one? When do you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to lie down. And your poverty shall come like a prowler, and your need as an armed man, a man of Belial. A wicked man walks with a perverse mouth, winks with his eyes, shuffles his feet, points with his finger. Perverseness is in his heart, plotting evil at all times. He sends out strife. Therefore his calamity comes suddenly. Instantly he is broken, and there is no healing. These 6 matters Yah hates, and 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart devising wicked schemes, feet quick to run to evil, a false witness breathing out lies, and one who causes strife among brothers. My son, watch over your father's commands, and do not forsake the Torah of your mother. Bind them on your heart always, tie them around your neck. When you are walking about, it leads you. When you lie down, it guards you. And when you have woken up, it talks to you. For the command is a lamp, and the Torah a light, and reproofs of discipline, a way of life, to guard you against an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a strange woman. Do not despise her prettiness in your heart. Neither let her captivate you with her eyelids. For because of a whore one is brought to a crust of bread, and an adulteress hunts a precious life. Would a man take fire to his bosom, and his garments not be burned? Would a man walk on hot coals, and his feet not be scorched? So is he who goes in to his neighbor's wife. None who touches her goes unpunished. They do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his appetite when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he repays 7-fold. He gives all the wealth of his house. He who commits adultery with a woman lacks heart. He who does it destroys his own life. He finds smiting and shame, and his reproach is not wiped away. For jealousy enrages a man, and he does not spare in the day of vengeance. He does not regard any ransom, nor accept your bribe, however great. My son, guard my words and treasure up my commands with you. Guard my commands and live, and my Torah as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablets of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding a close friend, to guard you against the strange woman, against the foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and I saw among the simple, I perceived among the youths, a young man lacking heart, passing through the street, near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and look, a woman met him, dressed like a whore, with a hidden heart. She was boisterous and stubborn. Her feet did not stay at her own house. Now in the street, now in the square, and at every corner she lurks. And she took hold of him and kissed him. She hardened her face and said to him, slaughterings of peace offerings are with me. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I came out to meet you, to earnestly seek your face, and I found you. I have spread my bed with coverings, colored linens of Mitzrayim, Egypt. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of carnal love until the morning. Let us delight ourselves with love, for my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took a bag of silver with him. He comes home on the day of the covering. With her many words she leads him astray. With her smooth lips she seduces him. He goes after her immediately. Like an ox he goes to the slaughter, and as in chains a fool to the punishment, till an arrow strikes through his liver, like a bird rushing into a snare, and did not know it would take his life. And now listen to me, you children, pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not go astray in her paths. For many are the wounded she has caused to fall, and numerous all her killed ones. Her house is the way of Sheol, going down to the rooms of death. Does not wisdom call, and understanding lift up her voice? On the top of the heights, along the way between the paths, she has taken her stand, besides the gates leading to the city at the entrances. She shouts, O men, I call to you, and my voice is to the sons of men. You simple ones, understand insight, and you fools, be an understanding heart. Listen, for I speak noble words, and the opening of my lips is about straightness. For my mouth speaks truth, and wrongness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous, none of them twisted or crooked, all of them plain to him who understands, and straight to those who find knowledge. Accept my discipline and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all delights are not comparable to her. I, wisdom, have dwelt with insight, and I find knowledge, foresight. The fear of Yah is to hate evil. I have hated pride and arrogance and evil ways, and the perverse mouth. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom I am understanding. Mightiness is mine. By me sovereigns reign, and rulers make righteous inscriptions. By me princes rule, and nobles all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who earnestly seek me do find me. Riches and esteem are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, and fine gold, and my increase than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, and in the midst of the paths of right ruling, to bestow substance on those who love me, and to fill their treasuries. Yah possessed me, the beginning of his way, as the first of his works of old. I was set up ages ago, at the first, before the earth ever was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs heavy with water, before mountains were sunk, before the hills I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth and the fields, or the first dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he inscribed a circle on the face of the deep. When he set the clouds above, when he made the fountains of the deep strong. When he gave to the sea its law, so that the waters would not transgress his mouth. When he inscribed the foundations of the earth, Then I was beside him, a master worker, and I was his delight, day by day rejoicing before him all the time, rejoicing the world, his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. And now listen to me, you children, for blessed are they who guard my ways. Listen to discipline and become wise, and do not refuse it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, watching at the posts of my doors. For whoever finds me shall find life, and obtain favor from Yah. But he who sins against me injures himself. All who hate me love death. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out its 7 columns. She has slaughtered her meat. She has mixed her wine. She has also prepared her table. She has sent out her young women. She cries out from the highest places of the city, "Who is simple? Let him turn and hear. As for him who lacks heart," she says to him, "Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have mixed." Leave the simple ones and live, and walk in the way of understanding. He who reproves a scoffer gets shame for himself, and he who rebukes a wrong one gets himself a blemish. Do not reprove a scoffer, lest he hate you. Reprove a wise one, and he loves you. Give instruction to a wise one, and he is wiser still. Teach a righteous one, and he increases in learning. The fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the set-apart one is understanding. For by me your days become many, and years of life are added to you. If you have become wise, you have become wise for yourself. And if you have scoffed, you alone bear it. A foolish woman is loud, simple, and without knowledge, for she has seated herself at the door of her house, on a seat by the highest places of the city, to call to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Who is simple? Let him turn and hear. And as for him who lacks heart, she says to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of Sheol. Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes a father rejoice, but a foolish son is his mother's sorrow. Treasures of wrongness are of no value, but righteousness delivers from death. Yah does not let the being of the righteous go hungry, but he thrusts away the desire of the wrong. Poor is he who works with a lazy hand, but the hand of the hard worker makes rich. He who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wrong. The remembrance of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wrong ones rot. The wise in heart accepts commands, but one with foolish lips falls. He who walks in integrity walks safely, but he who perverts his ways becomes known. He who winks with the eye causes sorrow, and one with foolish lips falls. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wrong. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all transgressions. Wisdom is found on the lips of him who has understanding, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks heart. The wise treasure up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool is near ruin. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The ruin of the poor is their poverty. The wage of the righteous is for life. The increase of the wrong is for sin. He who heeds discipline is in the way of life, but he who refuses reproof goes astray. He who hides hatred has lying lips, and he who sends out a slander is a fool. When words are many, transgression is not absent, but he who restrains his lips is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wrong is of little value. The lips of the righteous shepherd many, but fools die for lack of heart. The blessing of Yah makes one rich, and he adds no pain with it. To work out wicked schemes is like sport to a fool, but wisdom is for a man of understanding. What the wrong one fears comes upon him, but the desire of the righteous is granted. As the whirlwind passes by, the wrong one is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the lazy one to those who send him. The fear of Yah prolongs days, but the years of the wrong ones are shortened. The righteous look forward to joy, but the expectancy of the wrong ones perish. The way of Yah is a stronghold for the perfect, but ruin to the workers of wickedness. The righteous is never shaken, while the wrong shall not dwell in the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the tongue of perverseness is cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is pleasing, but the mouth of the wrong speaks perverseness. A false scale is an abomination to Yah, but a perfect weight is his delight. Pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the straight ones guides them, but the slipperiness of the treacherous destroys them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the perfect makes his way straight, but by his own wrongness the wrong one fails. The righteousness of the straight ones delivers them, but the treacherous are caught by greed. When a wrong man dies, expectancy perishes, and the ambition of the wicked shall be lost. The righteous is delivered from distress, and the wrong one takes his place. The defiled one destroys his neighbor with his mouth, but the righteous is delivered by knowledge. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices, and when the wrong perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the straight ones, the city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wrong it is overthrown. He who lacks heart despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding keeps silence. A slanderer is a revealer of secrets, but one with a trustworthy spirit conceals a matter. Without guidance the people fall, but in a great council there is safety. He who is grantor for a stranger suffers harm, but one who hates shaking hands in pledge is safe. A man shows favor, obtains esteem, but ruthless men obtain riches. A lovingly committed man is rewarding his being, but he who is cruel troubles his own flesh. The wrong one earns false wages, but the one sowing righteousness a true reward. Thus righteousness leads to life, and one pursuing evil to his own death. The perverse of heart are an abomination to Yah, but the perfect in the way are his delight. Hand to hand the evil one does not go unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall escape. Like a ring of gold in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who lacks good sense. The desire of the righteous is only good. The expectancy of the wrong is wrath. There is one who scatters, yet increases more, and one who withholds more than is right, but it comes to poverty. The generous being is enriched, and he who waters is also watered himself. The people curse him who withholds grain, but blessings is on the head of him who sells it. He who earnestly seeks good seeks what is pleasing, but to him who seeks evil it comes to him. He who trusts in his riches falls, but the righteous flourish like a leaf. He who troubles his own house inherits wind, and the fool is servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who is winning lives is wise. See, the righteous is the earth shall be rewarded. How much more the wrong and the sinner? Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. The good abstains favor from Yah, but the man of wicked devices he declares wrong. A man is not established by wrongness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A capable wife is the crown of her husband, but one causing shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are on right ruling, the counsels of the wrong are deceit. The words of the wrong are lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the straight delivers them. The wrong are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands. A man is praised according to his wisdom, but the perverted of heart becomes despised. Better to be lightly esteemed and have a servant than the highly esteemed who lacks bread. The righteous regards the life of his beast, but the compassion of the wrong is cruelty. He who tills his land is satisfied with bread, but he who pursues vanity is lacking heart. The wrong shall covet the catch of evildoers, but the root of the righteous yields fruit. In the transgression of the lips is an evil snare, but the righteous gets out of distress. From the fruit of his mouth one is filled with good, and the work of a man's hands is given back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who listens to advice is wise. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a clever one covers shame. He who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness deceit. Rash speaking is like piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is healing. The lip of truth is established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but counselors of peace have joy. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wrong shall be filled with evil. Lying lips are an abomination to Yah, but those who deal truly are his delight. A clever man is concealing knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly. The hand of the hard workers rules, but the lazy is put to compulsory labor. Anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes him glad. The righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wrong leads them astray. The lazy one has no game to roast, but the hard worker prizes his possessions. In the way of righteousness is life, and in its pathway there is no death. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer shall not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of the mouth a man eats the good, but the desire of the treacherous is for violence. He who watches over his mouth guards his being, but he who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. The being of the lazy one craves, but has not, while the being of the hard workers are enriched. A righteous one hates a lying word, but a wrong man is loathsome and comes to shame. Righteousness watches over him who is perfect in the way, but wrongness overthrows the sinner. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has none at all, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wrong is put out. By pride comes only strife, but wisdom is with those who take advice. Wealth from vanity diminishes, but he who gathers by hand increases. Expectancy drawn out makes the heart sick, but a longing come true is a tree of life. He who despises the word is destroyed, but he who fears the command is rewarded. The Torah of the wise is a fountain of life, turning one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the treacherous is hard. Everyone with insight acts with knowledge, but a fool spreads folly. A messenger that is wrong falls into evil, but a trustworthy envoy is a healing. Poverty and shame are for him who ignores discipline, but he who heeds reproof is esteemed. A desire accomplished is sweet to the being, but to turn away from evil is an abomination to the fool. He who walks with the wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools suffers evil. Evil pursues sinners, but good is repaid to the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Much food is in the tillable ground of the poor, but lack of right ruling sweeps it away. He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him seeks him with discipline. The righteous eats to the satisfying of his being, but the stomach of the wrong is lacking. Every wise woman has built her house, but the foolish breaks it down with her hands. He who walks in his straightness fears Yah, but he whose ways are crooked despises him. In the mouth of a fool is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise guard them. Where there are no oxen, the crib is clean, but from the strength of an ox comes much increase. A trustworthy witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. A scoffer shall seek wisdom, but find none, but knowledge is swift to him who has understanding. Leave the presence of a foolish man, for he shall not perceive the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the clever is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools scoff at guilt, but among the straight there is delight. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. The house of the wrong is destroyed, but the tent of the straight flourishes. There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. Even in laughter the heart is in pain, and the end of that joy is heaviness. The backslider in heart is satisfied with his own ways, but a good man is satisfied from his. The simple believes every word, but the clever one watches his step. The wise fears and turns away from evil, but a fool rushes on and is reckless. He who is impatient acts foolishly, and a man who plans wickedness is hated. The simple shall inherit folly, but the clever are crowned with knowledge. The evil ones shall bow before the good, and the wrong ones at the gate of the righteous. The poor is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who shows favor to the poor, oh blessed is he. Do not those who plan evil go astray, but loving commitment and truth are to those who plan good. In all labor there is profit, but talk of the lips leads only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their wealth. The folly of fools is folly. A true witness saves lives, but he who breathes out lies is a betrayer. In the fear of Yah is strong trust, and his children have a place of refuge. The fear of Yah is a fountain of life to turn away from the snares of death, and a multitude of people is a sovereign splendor, but in the lack of people is the ruin of a prince. He who is patient has great understanding, but he who is short of spirit exalts folly. A healthy heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who esteems him shows favor to the needy. By his own evil doing, the wrong is thrust down, but the righteous has a refuge in his death. Wisdom rests in the heart of him who has understanding, and even among fools it becomes known. Righteousness exalts a nation, and loving commitment to the peoples is sin. The sovereign's delight is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is towards him who causes shame.